RFM Analysis is a great report to utilize to understand your customer quality. And to do so, we take into account three key variables here. So we have the R, which stands for recency, how recently someone has placed an order, the F, which stands for frequency, how many orders they've placed, and then the M, which stands for monetary value, so how much net revenue someone's contributed to your business. This is a relative analysis, taking a look at your entire customer base and understanding how your customers are behaving relatively to one another. So every customer in your customer base will be assigned their own RFM score. And how we're assigning RFM scores is like so. So first we would take a look at this first variable that we have here, recency. And we would take your entire customer base, split them up into 4 quartiles, so 4 equal groups of 25%. Your top scoring 25% in terms of recency will get a score of 1 here, which is the best possible score. Your worst scoring 25% in terms of recency will get a score of 4 here, which is the worst possible score. Then in between, we have 2 and 3. So we're doing this for each of the 3 variables, which in turn will give every customer in your customer base an RFM score consisting of 3 different numbers based on how they ranked for each variable. And if we take a look at this chart below here, and if we were to hover over a certain RFM score, such as a 143, for example, what this would be identifying is any customer in your customer base who has scored in the top quartile in terms of recency, so the best, the worst quartile in terms of frequency, and then that third quartile in terms of monetary value. So that's how you would interpret this. Additionally, taking a look at this chart, we see there are tons of different RFM score combinations along the x-axis here. So what we've actually done is we've taken all these combinations and we've broken them up for you into 6 predefined categories that we recommend you use for your marketing audiences. And those categories can be seen to the right here. So in general, something cool about this is our color coding that we're doing. So the green, the red, and the yellow make it really easy for you to understand where your high quality customers lie, your not quality customers, and then the in-between. Additionally, as we hover over these different RFM categories, we are only highlighting customers who belong to said category. So for top customers, we can easily see these are on the left side of the chart in green. Loyal customers is going to be this green and yellow color, high potentials, and so on. So cool to be able to see based on the category you're looking at kind of where they stand quality-wise. In addition, next to each category, we're showing you the sample size of customers that fit into the segment, as well as understanding the percentage of the customer base that is, or the percentage of the category that makes up your customer base. In addition, taking a look at recency, frequency, and monetary value here. So as you toggle between these different variables, we're actually giving you a threshold for each of the categories. So really cool to be able to understand the exact values that you're working with when you're talking about these different customer categories. In addition, we have some cool strategies that you could implement easily using the RFM categories. So starting with top customers. Top customers, by definition, are scoring a 111. And if you ever forget what definition we're using for these categories, you can just hover over this little eye icon and we will tell you exactly what score matches with the category. But for top customers, as these are the most valuable customers in your customer base, one, you want to really focus on retaining these customers. Additionally, it's always cool to create a segment identifying who these customers are and then filter that segment through our many different reports in RetentionX to really try to understand their behavior better. So understanding things such as where they're located, what coupon codes they use, how were they acquired, what products do they purchase in their first order that led them to become a top customer today. All different things like this are always really interesting. And then third, what you can do is push the segment over to third-party tools, create lookalikes, and then use this for acquisition efforts. So this is a really efficient segment to use as a seed audience to acquire customers who are like-minded to your top customers. In addition, we have loyal customers. These are scoring a 1 in frequency. So for your loyal customers, you could reach out to them directly, let them know they're valued, maybe offer some sort of incentive for being a loyal customer. High potentials are going to be your big spenders. So high potentials you could also use as a seed audience, pushing it over to third-party tools such as Google, Meta, etc., creating lookalikes and using this to acquire customers who are not price sensitive. Small buyers are customers who are not spending too much money. So for them, you could try to cross-sell them, upsell them, get them to increase their AOV. Dormant customers are customers who have not shopped recently or frequently. So this is an ideal group to use for a win-back campaign. And then we also have worst customers. So worst customers can be seen on the right-hand side of this chart. These are customers scoring a 444, so the worst in each of the three variables. And for your worst customers, what you can do is also use this as a seed audience, create lookalikes within Google, Meta, etc. However, use this as an exclusion audience, just for most efficient spending. In addition, we do have this other group. A common question we get asked is, what is other and why is there such a high sample size that belongs to this other group? And the reason for this is because every single customer in your customer base is assigned a specific RFM score based on how they rank. And not every RFM combination will meet the criteria that we have for these predefined categories here. And if they don't meet the criteria, then in turn, they're falling into this other bucket. So while you absolutely can segment these customers based on those who do not have an RFM score RFM category, we would recommend really focusing on the categories that we do have, as these are low-hanging fruit, they're super actionable, and we give really easy and clear ways that you can target these customers. So I think it totally makes sense to work with them. How we make RFM actionable is really easy. So all you're going to want to do is head on over to customer segments. In general, under segment suggestions, you will see RFM categories there that you can hit with one button, and those will populate. However, to create them from scratch, this is very simple. So we would just hit new segment, dynamic segment. Then if we wanted to say top customers, for example, we would say customers who have RFM status, one of, and then you can just select top customers. We also have the ability to add additional conditions here as well if you wanted to. For this example, we'll just stick with top, and then you would hit create segment, and that's it. Once your segment is ready to go, it will be seen here under your customer segments. You can scroll down to the relevant one, in this case, top customers, and all you would want to do is hit create audience, push over to Google, Meta, etc., and it's as easy as that. So yeah, really straightforward to be able to understand your customer quality and then in turn action this, create segments, push them over to third-party tools, and work with them as you choose.